Hi, I'm Luka and welcome to another Q&A. You guys asked me a lot of questions on TikTok, so I thought it was time to answer some of them again. And okay, I also started my new job last week, so I didn't really have the energy to prepare another video. But let's just start right away with answering all the questions you had. I tried to have a balance again between like trans-related questions and other questions, because obviously I know that a lot of people are curious about the trans topics, but I also don't just want to talk about being trans. Believe it or not, it's not my only personality trait. I also like eating food and, I don't know, running. Yeah, okay, let's go. Question number 1, when are you gonna do a second Q&A? Well, I'm excited to tell you that it's right now. I'm doing a Q&A right now. If you could go anywhere, where would it be and why? I think right now my dream travel destination is definitely New Zealand. I have always wanted to go there. Maybe I'm romanticizing the idea of going to New Zealand too much. Like I'm always thinking about renting a camper van and then like driving across the island and just going for hikes and doing campfires and chilling by the beach and like all that cute stuff. But I really want to do this one day, just go to New Zealand for half a year or maybe even a year. And I was actually kind of hoping to do this after I graduate from my masters, but obviously right now I can't. And that's kind of sad, but maybe next year. How old were you when you came out as trans? I think I was 23 when I started telling people, but obviously I didn't come out to everybody at once. So I started coming out and telling people that I am very uncertain about my gender when I was like 23, and then it continued until I was like 24 maybe. And I remember at the time my thought process was very much like, oh my god, I'm so old already, isn't it too late to come out as trans and transition and all of that? But then again, I had these feelings of not fitting in with my assigned gender like for forever. Maybe it was just my impression, but a lot of trans people you see on the internet or in documentaries were usually teenagers, and if you see adult trans people, they usually already finished their transition a long time ago. I was a bit worried about that, but looking back I feel kind of stupid, because obviously there are trans people coming out at all different kinds of ages. Some people even transition when they're 70, so you know, it's fine. They just don't really make YouTube videos or post on Instagram about their transition, I guess. And I feel like also a lot of people from my generation or whatever transition in their 20s and not in their teens, because when we were teenagers, being trans was never really talked about, and teenagers nowadays are more aware of the issue, so obviously they come out earlier, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's just talk about the next question. Do you play any video games? I feel like it's always so disappointing when I answer this question, because I just don't play any video games. I've never really been into video games much, and I feel like I already spend enough time in front of screens anyway, so yeah. Obviously when I was a kid I was addicted to playing The Sims for a while. I definitely went through that phase and that was hella fun. But I've never actually owned a PlayStation or Xbox or whatever there is. But I'm always up for a nice round of Mario Kart, by the way, so yeah, that's all. Was it hard to come out to your family and friends? I'm assuming we're still talking about the coming out as trans part. I don't know, looking back it didn't feel that hard because everybody was pretty supportive. But you know what, even though I knew that people were mostly gonna be supportive, I was still super scared. It's so hard to explain. Just dropped my phone. What's your favorite hobby? That's a cute question, I like that one. At the moment it's probably running. I love running so much. I kind of want to do it every day. I don't know, it just makes me feel good, and I'm also starting to become a little bit ambitious. I'm trying to go on longer runs more often and also improve my pace, and I still really want to run a marathon this year, so yeah, wish me luck. What was your name before you transitioned? I get why people are curious, but just no. I don't really hold it against people when they ask that question, because mostly they're not aware that this is not an appropriate question to ask. But yeah, no, I'm just not gonna answer that one. What is your Hogwarts house? Okay, listen, I'm very much confused about that one, because most of my life I was so sure I was a Gryffindor. I also did the test and everything, and I was a Gryffindor. It was cool. But at some point in my life I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like a Gryffindor anymore. Let me retake the test. So I took the test again, and it said I was a Hufflepuff, so I guess I'm a Hufflepuff now? I don't know, I don't really care anymore, it's not that important. But if anyone's asking, I'm a Hufflepuff, but I still have Gryffindor merch. How does the process of studying tea work in Germany? Basically, here's a simplified version. First you see a therapist. For how long, how many times, nobody can really tell you. At some point they will write you a letter with your official diagnosis, and with that letter you are allowed to start testosterone. And finally you go to the endocrinologist where they give you testosterone. So it really depends on your individual background and on your therapist and on your endocrinologist how long you're gonna end up waiting in the end. It's very unpredictable. For some people it takes like 2 months, for some people it takes 2 years. For me personally actually, I think I went to the therapist for 3 months, but before that I was on the waiting list for around 3 months, so I guess it was like 6 months in total. But it totally depends, so it's really hard to make any general statements. Do you like rain? I mean, when I'm inside, I don't mind that much, but no, I prefer sunshine. I'm literally so sick of this winter. I woke up today and it snowed, and there's snow everywhere. Last week I was wearing shorts for the first time and it was like 22 degrees in sunshine, and now it's minus degrees again and it snowed. Like, what's going on? Okay, weather rant is over. Let's continue. Do you tell people you meet you're trans? That's interesting because I don't actually tell people I'm trans, but most of them know anyways. I mean, I'm posting about being trans on the internet. I'm not really making it a secret. And a lot of people obviously know me from before I transitioned, so yeah, it was kind of obvious. But no, I don't actually tell people. So some people I know, for example my roommates, they don't know I'm trans until they see this video on YouTube, then they might know. What is your favorite food? This is really hard because it changes all the time, but probably pizza. I'm also really into Japanese food. I mean, into Japan in general, but Japanese food is mwah. How did your parents react to you coming out? Actually, I think I answered this question on TikTok yesterday, but probably not in great detail, so here we go again. I think they were definitely surprised and like confused and didn't really know how to make sense of it because it's new information and they needed to process it. Yeah, obviously they needed some time to like adjust to the new name and new pronouns, and at first it was definitely a bit stressful and like not too fun, but you know, I knew that they loved me and they technically supported me. It was just like some change that we were going through, and yeah, now it's more chill again, I guess. So I think most people, if they react in a negative way, then they probably just need some time and like to get used to the idea. Not always, some people are just assholes, period, but just be patient. Usually they will come around. Ooh, and the last question is, when is your birthday? My birthday is on the 20th of July, so put it in your calendars, mark it red. I don't know, it's just a random piece of information about me, I guess. Alright, that was all the questions already. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or on TikTok or on Instagram or wherever. If you see me on the street, you can also ask me questions. Yeah, okay, have a nice day. Bye.